everyone, welcome to today's class, and it's a longer version class. The title is about opening up with backbends. So we're going to do some really nice work opening up into the front of the body, creating some flexibility in the spine. So when we open up with backbends, it's a wonderful chance to experience feelings of openness, love and joy. And when we work towards opening up, we allow ourselves to release any fears that we've been holding in, and also to start to develop and build on a feeling of courage. So for today's practice, a belt is going to be really handy if you've got a belt or a strap, and anything else that you might need for the practice. Bring it with you, move everything out of the way, and we will start off lying down on the floor. So take a moment to settle down in a position that's going to feel nice for the back. And either keeping the legs bent, or you can lengthen out the legs. And just take a moment to relax the body down in towards the earth. Allowing the eyes to close or a soft gaze. And just let yourself check in, tune in with how you're feeling right now. Being aware of maybe how your energy levels are feeling. Just simply observing anything that's going on for you right now, anything that you've been dealing with. Anything that stressed you out right now, just without getting into a story, just simply acknowledge that. And just let yourself start to just focus on the breath, maybe just feeling the rise and fall of the breath inside of you. And just notice whether it feels easy to breathe right now. Whether the breath feels fast or slow. And then let yourself find the breath now in and out through the nostrils. And just keep everything relaxed as you just start to develop this breath. And just simply notice where that breath reaches right now. Do you feel any movement anywhere at all? Do you notice any sensations of the breath anywhere in the body? Just see if you can let go and soften as you exhale. And how you can feel space and the feeling of life as you breathe in. Take your attention to the heart centre. And as you breathe, just begin to slowly let this breath move in towards the front of the body. Let the breath soften into sensations of any tightness or any stress that you've been carrying around in the front of the body. Let the breath just start to just gently open up. Then start to be aware of the sides of the rib cage, and maybe even direct the breath into these places. Feel how the breath can start to gently open up into the sides of the body, creating space around the rib cage. And then finally take your awareness into the back of the body, around the back of the heart, and the upper back around the shoulder blades. Just see if you can send the breath here. Noticing whether this is a place that maybe has felt a little bit tight lately, or you might have not even been aware of this place. So just breathe into that area. And just see if you can breathe fully into those three parts, the chest, the sides of the rib cage, and into the upper back. And as you breathe, just allow those places to become nice and soft and relaxed. Last couple of breaths. So we bring some awareness to those places that we're going to be working with in the practice today, just by the breath. And then slowly release, let your legs bend, let yourself hug the knees in towards the chest, taking a gentle rock from side to side, bringing the feet on the floor, legs bent, take a full breath in, let the arms raise, let the back of the hands come to the floor. And as you breathe out, gently press into the feet as the arms come back down. Breathing in, opening up, let the arms lift away. Breathing out, tailbone lengthens as the arms come back down. One more time, breathing in, back of the hands come down behind the head from here. And then breathing out, let the arms release back and down. Just take the feet in a little bit closer, ready for bridge. You're going to press into the feet, lifting up, take the arms up again, back of the hands onto the floor. And then breathing out, letting the arms come back down, lowering the spine back down. Breathing in, lifting up, hips and arms lift. And breathing out, feeling the ground as you release the arms back down. One more time, lifting up. We're going to hold this on the lift. So just take the arms a little bit wider into a V. If it's too much of a strain for your back, just take the hands back to the floor. And just allow yourself to get a good stretch into the front of the body. And then breathing out, slowly releasing back down. Hug the right knee in towards the chest and let your left leg lengthen out. Take a few moments just to soften the shoulders, easing into that right hip joint. And then continue to hold on to that knee with your left hand. Right arm can come out to the side, or it could be a Hackasams. You're going to take that hand and move that knee across the body from here, turning it into a twist. Either let the head come to the centre or let the head turn from here. Feel that lovely movement, that stretch across your front of the body into the shoulder. Just keeping weight back down into that right arm if you can. And slowly coming back, just bending that knee, left knee back in towards the chest, holding around the shin. And extend your right leg away from you. Make sure your chin's tucked in slightly and just pause for a moment, encouraging your left hip to just soften a little bit, just release a little bit. Continue to hold on to that knee with your right arm. Take the left arm out to the side, shoulder high, or cactus if you need extra spin, need a bit more space to bend the arm. And then taking that hand, you're going to ease that knee across the body. Maybe it reaches the floor, maybe you stay more lifted, that's fine. Let your head slowly turn towards that left side. And just breathe. Feel maybe a stretch across the front of the chest, into the arm, down into the armpit. Keeping weight into that left arm, feeling the contact as it grounds in towards the earth. And then bringing yourself back up, hugging both knees in towards the chest. And either just dropping your knees to one side or taking some spinal rolls. Do them nice and slow if you are, hands behind the legs. You can roll up to lift and maybe taking the legs back again. And a couple of these just rolling, being aware of the spine. And if you're rolling up and down, make this your last one. come all the way up from here. And you're going to come to a seated position from here. We'll take our Hackasams position. So take your belt if you need your belt for your Hackasams cow face arms. Just first of all, just some shoulder rolls to loosen up your shoulders. Just do it a few times in one direction. And then shoulder rolls in that opposite direction from here. And then we're going to take our Hackasams. So if you're going to use your belt, you can unravel it, hold on to it. We'll start off with the left arm. We'll lift it up. Taking that arm back, take your other hand on top, ease that elbow back. Your choice to stay here or release your right hand. Thumb starts to point down and you're taking the back hand as high as you can up, reaching your belt or your fingertips. And you're going to work towards taking the awareness into your chest. And just take some good breaths from here. Feeling and enjoying that sensation of feeling nice and open. Just a couple of breaths. And then slowly release. Again, a few nice shoulder rolls, rolling the shoulders back, letting go of any tension, any tightness. And then rolling the shoulders forward from here. And we'll go the other side. So if you used your belt, you're going to take it in the right hand. And allowing yourself to lift up, stretch that arm up first. Dropping that arm back, you can take that other arm up and over and enjoy encouraging that elbow just to gently move back. And it's fine to hold it here. And the next option would be to release the left hand. Thumb points down, back of the hand starts to lift as high as it can up the back, reaching the fingers or reaching your belt from here. And just allow yourself to stay nice and open from here. And as you breathe, imagine that you're releasing into any tension or tightness that may be in the chest area. So use your breath to feel those places. And then slowly releasing from here. Just put your belt to the side for now. A few nice shoulder rolls again from here. And shoulder rolls forward. And then we're going to take the arms out to the side. We're going to allow ourselves to do a nice opening for our side bend stretch. So we'll keep the right hand down. Left hand lifts, and we'll do the one where we hold on, taking the hand around the back of the head. And you're going to slowly lifting up your elbow from here. Use your hand to support the head. Just a couple of breaths, feel nice and lifted in the chest. If it works, release the hand. You can take the hands up and over, maybe bending into that elbow to deepen your stretch on that left side. And then slowly coming all the way back. So left hand's down, right one's going to lift. We can take the hands behind the back of that head. And if it works, just slowly start to lift your elbow up from here. Make sure you're not locking into that bottom arm. And your choice to stay here supporting the head or release the hand, extend the arm up and over. You can always maybe move that hand forward or lower more down on towards the forearm if it works from here. And then slowly coming all the way back from here. We're going to take Hackasams. So Hackasam, fingers spread, shoulders moving back and down. And then slowly take an inhale as you breathe out. You're going to wrap the arms over as you round in from here. And then breathing in, come back to Hackasams. Breathing out, you can take the other arm over this time. And then inhale to open up. Couple more, make sure you reverse the arms. You do alternate arm on top each time. And just feel what it feels like to be able to round over that sensation. and what it feels like to feel open. We'll do last one. And then slowly allowing yourself just to lift from here. Couple of breaths again. And then allowing yourself to release the hands down. And then roll your knees to one side and let yourself come into an all fours position. So spreading the hands, just move whatever you don't need out of the way from here. So you've got lots of space. Hands are nice and spread. You're going to tuck the toes. So we'll do some cat stretches with the toes tucked. So nice sense of stability. Inhale, lifting up, lifting the chest, gazing up. Exhale, 2 round over. Inhale, feel what it feels like to feel open in the chest. As you breathe out, feel what it feels like to create space in the back of the heart. Just another one coming forward as we breathe in. As we breathe out, rounding over. Back to tabletop position. We're going to do exactly the same movements, but just reversing the breath. So you breathe in as you round over and breathe out as you come forward. So breathing in this time, rounding over into the back of the heart. Breathing out as we send the chest forward. Breathing in, creating that in-breath to create extra space around the back of the heart. And then breathing out to send the chest forward. Last one as we breathe in, use that extra in-breath to focus on the back of the heart. And then breathing out, come back to your tabletop position. You can release your feet, keep your knees hip distance apart. And we're going to walk into puppy pose. So thighs stay upright, hips stay above. And then sinking the chest down, lowering the heads, take the heads down. If you've got anything going on with the arms where this doesn't feel comfortable, then always fold one arm, but make sure you have a few breaths and swap over with the other arm. And just take your focus to this feeling of surrendering and softening into the chest and the heart area. Just feeling softness and ease. And then lift your head, take the weight back into the hands. So we're able to move your hands back underneath your shoulders from here. And tucking the toes under, let yourself lift into downward dog from here. You can walk out through your legs from here. Sinking heels back. You're going to raise your right leg, stretch your leg away. And then bending the right leg, let your knee start to ease out towards the side. So you get a nice opening up into the front of the chest. Bring yourself back to the centre from here. You're going to lower that leg down to the floor. Bring yourself back to hands and knees. Release your feet. Letting yourself come all the way down, sinking hips down, bringing arms down, bending, lowering all the way down to the floor. We're all going to find Sphinx, so we're going to spread the hands, take them as wide as your mat, hands roughly in line with the cheeks. You're going to slowly inhale, lifting up your head and the chest. We're going to hold it for a few breaths, either keeping your gaze down or bringing weight into the elbows, maybe looking slightly forward as if you're just pulling back into the elbow. And just see if you can focus on this breath. Just enjoying that feeling of just feeling open into the chest. Building on the benefits of just when we're open, we start to create and open up into the courage we have inside of us. And then lower all the way down. Hands underneath your shoulders. Press yourself back to the all fours. Tuck the toes under, lift back into your downward dog. And just a couple of breaths. Can you soften your knees? Let them have a bit of a deep bend from here. And as if you was just trying to create as much space into the back of the body. And then heels release down. Your left leg can lift that into three-legged downward dog from here. Bending your left leg. Open your knee out to the side. And you can gaze under that arm or just keep the head to the centre. Bring your knee back from here, taking that leg, that foot down to the floor. You can bring yourself into plank pose if it works, or hands and knees for a half plank pose. You can just take your focus into your chest and how it's just extending, facing down towards the earth. Draw in with the navel. Lower your knees down, release the feet. Lower all the way down back to the bellies from here. We're going to allow ourselves this time to either find Sphinx pose or allowing ourselves to bring the hands underneath the shoulders, maybe taking them a little bit wider. You're going to slowly inhale, lifting up into a baby cobra, elbows pointing back. And if it feels okay, if you've got that support in your lower back, you can take your hands, so you're hovering the hands from the floor. The hands are just extended, facing down towards the earth. And then slowly, hands back underneath the shoulders. Making your way back to the all fours. Bring some weight back to your heels, and we're going to find child's posture. So you might like the variation where you bring back of the hands on the floor and bringing the arms down, folding the body over the fronts of the thighs, and then resting the head down to the floor. And do make any adjustments that you need to, so that it accommodates your hips and your knees. Just a few breaths from here, and it's a really nice feeling of comfort in this pose and ease. And feeling grounded and at peace. So just enjoy that for a few moments. And when you're ready, slowly letting yourself come back, hands back to the all fours. Tuck your toes under, lift up into downward dog. Then bending the legs, slowly start to take that walk, bringing your feet towards the hands on the hips. Lifting up and coming all the way up to standing. Take a nice breath in, raising the arms. And then exhale, folding forward. Let your hands rest for a half lift on the shins. And inhale, lifting up halfway. And then exhale, soften and fold. Let the head be nice and heavy. Do that again. Inhale, hands on the shins, lifting up halfway, chest forward. And then exhale, soften and fold over the legs. Last one, inhale, lifting up halfway. Exhale, soften and fold, crown of the head really heavy, and just have this feeling of peace and calmness in the heart as the upper body can just soften. Soften the knees. You can take the arms out to the side, lifting up and coming all the way up from here. So palms facing towards each other. And you can either reach your fingers up more, so we bring awareness into the top of the chest, or you might like to take a standing back bend by softening the knees. Be careful of the back. You can start to maybe ease back and feel this really nice openness across the front of the body. Bringing your palms together, hands towards your chest and back to your heart centre from here. Just take a few breaths, maybe just lowering slightly your chin. And bring in maybe your attention to the heart centre. Just connect to that. Maybe you feel the heart beating, or maybe you're just aware of this place that we hold within us, where we can create love, joy, courage, and then slowly allowing ourselves to lift the head from here. We're going to let the hands come down by the sides of the body. You're going to just separate the feet so you're about hip distance apart from here. And have your hands onto the knees, and we'll do some really nice standing cat stretches. So bend the legs as you inhale, arching the back as we come forward. And as you breathe out, rounding over from here. Inhale to come forward, you can gaze up. Breathing out to round over, navel draws in. Do that a few times. Focus on the front of the body as you come forward. Focus on the back of the body as you round over. Last one, inhale to come forward. Exhale to round over. And come all the way back to standing. You're going to take a nice breath, and as you inhale, you can take the arms out as the chest comes forward. As you exhale, soften the knees, wrap the arms around as you round over. Maybe bend the legs deeply. Inhale, you can come forward again, feel open. Exhale, rounding over, drawing in with the navel. Couple more. Inhale to come forward. Maybe crossing the other arm over this time as you round over, drawing into the navel. Last one to come forward from here. Take your exhale from here, bringing your palms back together. We're going to come to the front of the mat from here. And we're going to take your right foot back, not too much of a distance. We're going to come for a forward bend stretch over that leg. So you're going to take your hands behind you, either holding onto your elbows, or if you're familiar with the reverse prayer, you can bring the palms together, bringing the palms up. You're going to take a moment, maybe lifting your chest and just feeling open. It's often maybe not a position, this opening that we do a lot during the day, but it's very, very beneficial. You're going to start to slowly come forward. Try to keep your hips so they don't move too much and they don't twist. They're pretty much even. You can fold forward over the legs. You might come higher up. Take a few breaths. You release your hands either side of your legs from here. Let your head be nice and heavy. You're going to slowly start to take the hands to the front, turn the feet out so the feet face the long side of the mat. And take your hands to your hips and slowly lift, and we'll come all the way up to standing. So from here, we're going to open the feet out into a horse stance position. So we're going to bend the legs. You want your knees roughly tracking over your ankle, over that second toe. Adjust if you need to from here. Take a few nice breaths from here. Hands are going to rest on the legs. We'll do some of those cat stretches from a stance position. So inhale, arching the back. And as you breathe out, rounding over, drawing into the navel. Inhale, thinking about opening right up into the top of the chest, arching the back. And breathing out, rounding over. Do that a couple more times. Just start to feel what it feels like to feel open. You breathe out, just sort of get sensations that you're working into the back of the heart. We'll do last one from here. And then allowing yourself to let your hands return to the hips, lifting up. Turning the feet to the front. And then you're going to do what we did on the other side. So your left foot is going to turn out, your right foot's going to turn in. So you can allow yourself to let your hips be facing in the direction what that leg and that foot's facing. And then taking either your hands into a holding elbows. Make sure you do the unfamiliar clasp, what was different to the other side, or bringing your palms together and palms up. If it works, you can lift the chest and take a moment, maybe gazing back from here. A couple of nice, long, slow breaths. And then slowly coming back, we're going to start to hinge at the hips. So we're starting to fold forward over that leg. Try to allow the hips to be pretty much even. Let the crown of the head release. A couple of breaths. And then slowly release the hands. Let the hands come down to the floor. Let the crown of the head be heavy, or using bricks or hands on the legs. And then slowly from here, walking hands back to the long side of the mat, turning the feet so we come back into that position with both feet to the long side of the mat. Hands on the hips, and we'll slowly lift and come all the way up to standing. So you're going to come to a forward fold. So if you need to take the legs any further apart, you can do that, or shorter. Make sure you've got some room so you can come forward, because we're going to take the hands slightly forward of the feet, or you can use your brick if your hands don't reach the floor. The hands on the hip creases, feet forward, or turn your big toes in slightly. You're going to hinge at the hips. And we'll slowly start to come forwards from here. And take the hands down to the floor, or using your brick. Let the crown of the head be nice and heavy. And then lifting up the head. And you're going to start to walk the hands forward slightly again. You can use your bigger block if you need to. And then you're going to inhale, lifting arch in the back, lifting the chest. And then as you breathe out, rounding over, drawing into the navel. So a bit like those cat stretches. Inhale, letting your chest and your heart open. Exhale, rounding over, drawing into the navel. Do a couple more. Inhale to lift. Exhale to round over. Last one. Hold it for a couple of breaths on this last one as you come forward. Just pause there for a few moments. And as you exhale, rounding over. And walk your hands back from here. We'll take a twist so your left hands can come to the floor and your right hand can come to your hip, and we'll twist towards that right side. So you can take the arm up if it works, or just staying exactly where you are and try to lift up and out of that bottom hand so we're not collapsing in. Bottom hand down, so we'll take that hand down to the floor and your left hand onto the hip, and we'll slowly open up from here. You can lift up, raising that arm, or just keep it where it is. Reach up with the fingers, and then slowly bring the hands back. Let them move to the hips. Let yourself lift all the way up from here. We'll take a warrior, so we'll turn the right foot out, left foot facing forward, bending into your right leg from here, and you're going to raise your arms up, shoulders nice and relaxed. Just be aware of your chest, so really bring some attention as you feel open and spacious in your chest. So you're going to take your left hand down, right arm's going to lift, and we might take it up and over. We might support the back. So we take it into a reverse warrior. And then lifting up, coming forward. You can take the hands back to the hips, feet to the front. Just pause for a moment here. And then let yourself turn your left foot out, right foot is forward. You're going to bend into that leg from here. Extend, open out the arms to shoulder high. Navel draws in, we gaze towards the left side. We feel strong in the legs and rooted down with the feet, but can you feel this sense of lightness and space across your chest and the front of the body? Right hand down, left arm's going to lift for reverse warrior. You can stay here, or you can take it up and over, or you can take the hands onto the lower back to support if you've got any back issues going on from here. And then coming all the way back, extending out, hands on the hips, feet to the front, heel toe, or step your feet back in from here. Back to mountain posture. Just pause for a few breaths. Let the eyes blink open. We're going to take our tree balance from here with lots of attention to the heart centre. So lifting up the right leg and turning the knee out to the side, and either bringing toes to the floor, heeling, or lifting the leg higher, or even taking hold of it into the inside of that thigh. And then when you feel steady, navel draws in, lifting up the arms. Take the arms into a V shape from here. And just allow yourself, as if you're sending all that good energy, that positive energy, full of maybe peace and courage, allowing it maybe just to send out this good energy into the world through your hands, through your fingertips, feeling a connection with everything, the space around you right now. And then let your hands come together towards heart centre. Just feel a peace and a calmness. Then hands on the hips, let yourself release that foot, find the floor, shake out your legs or move your hips if you need to. Setting up into mountain pose again. Calm breath, calm body. Hands on the hips, the left leg is going to lift this time and turn out into Hackasams tree. So maybe you do the same as what's on the other side, or maybe a different position on that leg. And then when you feel steady, slowly start to lift the arms. It might be a little way, or you might be able to send the arms out into a V shape. And from here we can breathe, we can use the power of our breath and our good intentions to bring some love, some light, some space that we feel in our own hearts, and sending it out into the world, feeling it out through your hands and your fingertips. And then slowly let your arms bend, let your hands meet in towards the heart centre and Jali Mudra. And then slowly release your foot from here. Give the legs a nice shake out from here. And we'll come to the front of the mat. You know, let yourself interlock your fingers from here. So gently rolling back your shoulders. And just pause for a moment without going forwards, just holding it here as we take your breath in towards the heart centre. And naturally, with the hands clasped, the chest naturally lifts, so just become aware of that. Soften the knees, you can hinge forwards, we can start to slowly come forward. Let the crown of the head be nice and heavy. And then allowing the hands to come to the lower back, bending the legs, releasing the hands down to the floor. And just take your maybe big toes together and knees nice and wide for an extended version of a child's posture. Let yourself walk your hands forward from here and let your head release down towards the earth. Nice, long, slow breaths from here. Just take some attention into your hips. Hips are getting a nice release. Lower back is getting a nice stretch. Shoulders can relax. And we've got calmness and peace in the heart centre. Let yourself slowly lift the head. Move your hands back from here. Come back so your knees are back to the floor, feet are facing back. I'm going to do some lunge work, so please feel free to swap the lunges for a standing warrior if knee work doesn't work for you. So your right leg is going to go forward from here, and you can pad your back knee as much as you need to. And you're going to take your hands onto that thigh from here. And if you can, you might be able to sink a little bit lower without bringing that knee out of alignment. So you sink everything down a little bit lower, but you still want to draw into the navel. You can lift the arms from here. And you're either going to reach up more with the fingertips, or as we sink lower, maybe we take a bit of a back bend back from here Wherever you are, feel nice and open. And then bringing your hands back, bringing yourself back to all fours. Bring yourself back to knee underneath the hip. If you're doing it from standing, we're going to swap over legs and into warrior, or from this position, your left foot is going to step forward, pad your back knee as much as you need to. Lifting up onto that thigh from here. And your hands are there too, so you don't collapse in. You use your hands just to gently press away from the floor. You might sink a little bit lower, so a lovely stretch across that front of that back thigh. You lift the arms if it works. Keep rooting down with the feet. You can always sink a little bit lower, reach the fingers up, or you might even take a little bit of a back bend. Keep breathing. And then nice and slowly coming back, you're going to take the hands back from here. Bring yourself back to all fours. And we'll all tuck the toes and lifting up into downward dog and just walk out through the legs. So you get a nice release into your hips. So just gently pedaling out through the legs from here. Nice long slow breaths. That's it. Let your head be nice and heavy from here. Long, slow breaths. And then coming back to your all fours. We're going to come up onto the thighs. We'll do a round of our camel posture, Ustrasana. So if knees are not for you, then you can always take it into a standing one again. So pad your knees if you need to. You can separate your knees. We're going to tuck the toes under, a little bit of extra stability from here. You're going to allow ourselves to just, first of all, take your fingertips so they point down and taking the hands into roughly the mid-back. And then allowing yourself to gently draw your your shoulders back, lifting the front of the body. We haven't got to do anything particularly with the head from here. Keep breathing. And then nice and slowly release. Maybe we take the hands to the floor as we just take a stretch for the back. Coming up again. This time we can explore, rather than pointing the fingers down, let yourself point the fingers up so that hands come to the back from here. You can, again, lift up your chest, elbows gently drawing back. And then slowly releasing from here. Maybe again, we just take a few maybe movements of the shoulders or rounding over just to release into the back. And we'll do last rounds from here. So either see what felt good, maybe fingers down or hands, fingers pointing up. Or you could even let yourself lift. And if you know it's in your practice, you can always take your hands onto your heels from here. Be careful of the head, a lovely feeling of openness. Maybe just feeling that feeling of lightness as well. You feel space in the body and space with the breath. If your head's back, keep your head back. Take the hands either to the hips or the lower back. And then you bring everything back up again from here. And then let yourself slowly come down to the floor. And extending out with your legs from here. Take a moment just to take the hands down by the sides of the body. Just sitting up nice and tall for a few breaths. And then if it feels okay, start to slowly come forward. You can walk your hands forward from here. Allowing yourself to fold forward over the legs. Head nice and heavy. And just take a moment to breathe, just softening across the back of the body. Nice long, slow breaths. Head is nice and heavy from here. And slowly allowing ourselves to lift up, coming back to your Dandasana standing position, staff position. Then bending your legs from here. You're going to take your fingers so they point in towards your legs from here, or take your hands out to the side. You know, press into the feet. You're going to slowly lift up, sending your hips up, lifting the thighs, coming into reverse tabletop. So a great feeling of opening up into the front of the body. If you know it's okay, you can take your heads back from here. If your head's lifted, tuck your chin in, slowly lower down to the floor. And then either one more round, or we can extend out with the legs. Same thing with the hands, either fingers in or turning the arms out to the side. You know, point your feet down from here. We can slowly lift up. Maybe the feet come to the floor, often it's quite tricky. You know, tuck your chin in or allowing your head to slowly release back from here. Nice, long, slow breaths, keep breathing. And then tucking your chin in, slowly allowing yourself to lower down to the floor. Bending the legs and just taking a nice easy fold, holding on to opposite elbows, allowing our head to become nice and heavy. And just take a few nice easy breaths, breathing into the back of the body, letting go of any tension, anything at all that you might be feeling. Nice long slow breaths. And when you're ready, slowly lifting your head, you're going to roll yourself down to the floor. So coming all the way down, hugging the knees in towards the chest, taking a gentle rock from side to side, just easing, letting go of any tension, any tightness. Taking your soles of the feet together, letting your knees open out to the side, letting your arms come to Hackasams, so back of the hands coming to the floor, fingers nice and spread, and just allowing our eyes to close as we just focus on really nice calm breaths from here. Maybe just having an awareness of this openness that you've created in the front of the body. Just letting the eyes relax, maybe just being aware of the space where there's a gap, where the back is away from the floor. Just start to maybe just be aware of where the spine touches and where the spine lifts. Maybe being aware of the back of your shoulder blades and just feeling them just gently being supported by the earth. Did lots of work into the back of the body today as well. And just as if you're just letting that breath fully spread out from your chest all the way across the chest. Feeling open with our hands in Hackasams allows us to feel really open as well. And then slowly let your hands release, knees back from here. Arms out one more time to Hackasams, and just for a moment, dropping the knees gently from side to side. Letting your head just turn. We slowly release into the back of the body. And bringing your legs back, you can take one hand to the belly, one hand to the chest. You can either keep the legs bent or lengthen the legs out. And just focus on your breath for a moment. Feeling how the hands are there to receive the movement that's created by the breath, and how your hands just gently release back in as you breathe out. Let the hands be there to receive the body as you breathe. Use your hands to allow these areas to soften and release even more. Just a couple of breaths. And then let the arms rest down, either on the belly or down by the sides of the body. Just feeling what the practice has brought for you today. If you need longer to rest, have as long as you need. Or if you're ready to move, have a stretch out, stretch the legs out. Take a full breath in, and as you breathe out, bend the legs, hug the knees back in towards the chest, gently rocking from side to side. Roll over onto the right side of the body, lengthen out into the arm. And then when you're ready, slowly let yourself come all the way back to a seated position, crossed legs, palms together, Anjali Mudra, hands towards the heart centre as we take an offering, as we bow the head down. Just connecting to what you've created in the practice. And let the feelings of courage come through the next few days or the week with you as you work on these feelings. Let yourself use your breath to feel open and space in the front of the body. Let the eyes blink open, slowly inhale, lifting your head, let your heart lift out to the world. Namaste. Hope you enjoyed that. Thank you so much for practicing with me. Speak soon.